in the light, in the love, in the glory, in the light, in the love, in the glory, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. Oh yeah, in the light, in the love, in the glory, in the light, in the love, in the glory, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am whole thing through last time. In the light, in the love, in the glory, in the light, in the love, in the glory, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am in the light, in the love, in the glory, in the light, in the love, in the glory, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am.
How many of you have gotten in your car, especially if you have a manual transmission? Because when you have a manual transmission, you always have to put your parking brake on. Otherwise, your car might not be there when you get back, speaking from experience. So, although my parking brake was on, let me clear that up for everybody in the room. But how many of you have done that? And you know, you put it in gear, even it with an automatic, and you start to take off, and the car kind of like goes, yeah, I'm not ready, right? Something's not right here. So each one of us, I believe, has psychological handbrakes. Every single one of us lives our life, and there are times that we're living our life with a handbrake on, because we're living our life with negative thoughts. We're living our life out of anger. We're living our life out of fear. We're living our life, we're not being the fullest thing that God created because of our experiences, right? We come out this little bundle of joy. Even though we're screaming our lungs out when we're birthed, we're little bundles of joy. We know in that moment that we were created by God, that we are that love and that light and that glory. We know it. And then, because we're human, we get told not so much. That's how we interpret things. And recently I heard people used to say until you were 6 years old, now they're saying until 10. We take information in and we decide if it's how we interpret that. We decide. Can you imagine a little 2-year-old is making a decision based on what an adult has said, and they're not going to question it, right? They're looking up at something much bigger than them that has said something, probably not meaning to do damage, and that little 2-year-old's going to take that information and decide, wow, I guess I'm not good enough. I must be bad. And they internalize that, and then what do we know happens as they internalize it? Then they start to create things in their life to continually prove that to themselves, right? Over and over and over again. And so I just recently took a class from a gentleman named Jim Bunch. Hour and a half Zoom call. I took 6 pages of notes, single lines, both sides of the pages. 6 pages of notes. I was like, whoa. And it's nothing new, because there really is no new information, just so we're all clear. All that information is stored in the divine already, right? Every thought that's ever been thought, every thought that will be thought, everything you're thinking right now, already there in that magnificence. And yet it's the delivery that touches your heart, that somebody can say to you over and over and over again, you need to practice affirmations, and here's why. And you're like, okay, I'll do that. And then somebody will say it. They may even say it the exact same way. And you're like, oh, I've never heard that before. Now, I will tell you, as a minister, this happens more than once in a minister's life, where the person can stand up there and go over and over again and share and share and share. And then the person goes to some retreat and they come back, oh my God, do you know what I learned? And I'm like, okay. Now, here's the thing. Does that mean I wasted my time? Absolutely not. What that means is we're just peeling back the onion, right? And when it was ready, it went someplace for whatever reason to hear it, and it really sunk in. I still did my job, right? And so, however, when I was a new minister, I was like, seriously. Used to hurt my feelings. Not so much anymore. So Jim Bunch talks about us being the you. And us being the you is our soul. That within us, which already knows, it knows it's God in form. It has that. In the readings from the Mastery Key, he talks about the I. It is that I within us, that has a direct pipeline to the divine all the time. It's just continuous. It never stops. Never questions, remember. So that's important when we start talking about affirmations. He says around the you, the next energy field, is something called memetics. And memetics are your thoughts, things in your life that you've decided are true. How you think, how you've made up your mind, your beliefs, whether they be your beliefs or whether they be institutional beliefs or whether they be generational beliefs, beliefs that have been handed down to you either knowingly or unknowingly. Do you know you can get some beliefs, I believe, in your DNA? Because, your parents, just when you became you, didn't mean your parents didn't have thoughts that were in those genes. And now that's part of you. And so all of that, and here's the thing about beliefs, and really most of our thoughts, they aren't really true, capital T truth, right? They're your beliefs. You're allowed to have them. If they work for you, great. They aren't necessarily truth, because you can change your belief anytime you want to. And if it's a truth, it's a constant. It's always there. It can't be changed. And so that surrounds you. And then on the outside of that, there are 9 environments. Now, when I was sharing this with Paul, he's like, I thought we were just one. Yes. 9 environments, all part of you, just like the memetics are part of you, and you is you. It's all one. It's kind of like our science of mind symbol. We divided into the teaching symbol into 3 parts so that our mind can grasp what we're saying, except in God, there's no separation. There isn't a place in God that's just law, just so you know. Although we talk as if, right? Because it helps our mind understand the processes. And so that's these 9 environments. And so he talks about these different 9 environments, and I'm going to talk about them also, and we're going to talk about affirmations. You're probably thinking, I thought this was about affirmations. It is. Hang on. So I invite you all, little break. Kyle, put on some music, please. Get a piece of paper and a pen, because we're going to create some affirmations. Somebody could go to the printer and pull out a little stack of blank paper for people that don't have it in there. Thank you, Paul. Pens are in the backs of the seats. You at home, if you need something solid to write on and you're in here, go to the bookstore, get some books. I don't know. Okay. Oh, okay. Don't do that, Courtney said. Yeah, use a tissue box if you want to. Find something. Right on your knee. Just don't press hard. Memetics, M-E-M-E-T-I-C-S, memetics, M-E-M-E-T-I-C-S. All right, I hope you're all back. Everybody got a piece of paper and a pen? So we're going to talk, first of all, about affirmations. And most of you know this. I want to review it anyway, just so, because I learned a couple new things that I hadn't done with affirmations before. So the first thing is you want it to be personal. So if I'm writing an affirmation for myself, I start it with I am. If I am writing an affirmation with Paul, for the two of us, notice I said with Paul. I can't write an affirmation for Paul and I if Paul's not in on the affirmation. We don't write affirmations for other people. So if I'm writing it with Paul, then we say we are. So that's how your affirmation should start. I am or we are. They should be present tense, as if it's already happening. You don't want to put it out into the future like someday it's going to happen, because guess what? It's never going to happen because it's always going to be out in the future. So you want it to be present tense, even though you may not be living that right here and right now. And I have used my I am a healthy, firm, fit, 130 pounds. That's not my reality right now. That's my affirmation. Although I've switched it up a little bit after I've learned a couple more techniques. So you want to make sure that it's present tense. And be brief. Why? Do you want to carry around affirmation cards with you everywhere you go? You can. However, isn't an affirmation more fun if you could just remember it? If you've got an affirmation that is 25 words long and you're my age, probably you're going to need to carry around a card. Anyway, I do. I don't know about the rest of you. However, if I've got an affirmation that's about 10 words long, I can just say it. I don't need to carry around and if we can say it without reading it, we embody it, right? Not that there's a difference from reading something and just saying it from your soul. When you create your affirmation, in my opinion, you should have a smile on your face. You should get God bumps. And if you don't, I invite you to rewrite it until you do, because there's something amiss between your body talking to you and what that affirmation is saying. Now, it could be that you have an affirmation that's really big and your body is saying, that ain't gonna happen. Then all you have to do is put in front of the affirmation, what if? What if I had $1 million in the bank? Because here's the thing about my subconscious mind. Excuse me, if I say what if? It's like, I don't know. What if? If I state it as a fact, my subconscious mind can begin to challenge me immediately. So just a thought. If you know that that's your affirmation, it's juicy, it makes you happy, but your body is like, no, then just put a what if in front of it. Include an action word. This is something that I hadn't really done. And an action word is something ending in ing. So instead of just saying, I am a firm, fit, healthy, I am enjoying a firm, fit, healthy. It's a difference, isn't it? It gives it more vitality, if you will. So include an ing word in your affirmations. He said to use dynamic feelings, and I'm like, what? So I'm not going to go over dynamic feelings. Do what I did. Google online dynamic feeling. And there is a woman there that has created like over 400 words that give you dynamic feeling. And if you can't find it, text or email me because I saved it on my hard drive. I don't even remember the website name right now, Vicki. However, what I will do, I'll post it in Genesis Family. All right, and so before we get into the environments, the 9 environments, your environments, like your memetics, like you, are all energy. And because they're all energy, they're always in play. Every single one of them. They're not resting. They're there all the time. They are either inspiring you or they're taking you down. Affirmations are something that can inspire you, right? And so these 9 environments, remember, it's all energy, so they're all one, but they're always affecting you. One of the interesting things that Jim Bunch said was, do not create your goals sitting where you always sit or at like your work desk. Sit in a new environment so that you can really feel creativity. Now, you can change, and I can change my office environment, which we did during this call. 60 seconds, just take stuff off your desk or rearrange stuff on your desk. Now you've created a new environment. Now you're in the creative mode. Just think about little things that you can do in any one of these environments, because when you change one thing, because it's energy and it's fluid, all things are going to shift, right? Everything's going to shift. And so one of the environments is your body, and the body is this physical form, right? And so an affirmation you could make for your body could be about the way you eat. It could be about exercising. It could be about the perfect weight you want to be. Maybe if you've got something that bothers you physically, you can set an affirmation that just dissipates into the universe. Because in the reading in the Master Key, he talks about our soul is perfect. So when I say I am perfect, I am whole, I am complete, I'm talking about my soul. And if my soul is going yes, then the rest of my body will respond. And so it's a matter of shifting maybe your affirmation. So if I'm going to say something like, let's say I have a knee that is really bothering me and it always is bothering me. I am joyfully experiencing walking with ease and grace every single day. That could be a body affirmation, right? So the next environment is self. And self is that inner architect. Your strengths, your what your talents are, what you came in here with. And so it could be an affirmation for the self, could be, and I wrote these ahead of time so I wouldn't have to think on my feet, just so you know. I am exhilarated expressing myself openly and honestly. So exhilarated is one of those words she talked about. And then I did the ing. I am exhilarated expressing myself. So that's the self. You have your spiritual. Now your body, your spiritual, and your self are the 3 at the top. And then the rest surround that when you draw this like in a little graph. And the reason being is that those are pretty strong in most people, believe it or not. Where our weak environments are the ones that are like the base, the ones that are supporting us. So your spiritual one, that is, your higher source, what you believe, your relationship with the divine. What is that? How does that look for you? How do you relate? What's an affirmation you can say for that? Mine was, I am blissfully and continually connecting to source. My supply, my sustenance, my good. So I love this. And I hadn't really thought a lot about it. It's not that I don't love nature. I do. But until recently, I wouldn't say I spent a lot of time out in nature. And nature is an environment. And the belief is that because we are spiritual beings having a human experience, we should connect with nature as often as possible. And it could be just simply going outside and spending a couple minutes in the sun, just looking around and going, wow, life is pretty amazing. For me, it's every time I look at Mount Rainier. It to this day, and I was born here, it takes my breath away. It's the first thing I look for because I've moved away from here. I always move back. It's the first thing I look for when I hit Washington, Mount Rainier. Last night there was full moon or close to full moon? Close to full moon. And Paul said he's always amazed, because it happens often, how that when he looks at a full moon or almost full moon, how it just, it touches his heart. So nature is always speaking to us, and we need to remember that. And so we need to spend time with nature. And an affirmation would look something like, I am enthusiastically spending time each day outside connecting to Mother Earth. Now, for us that live in the Pacific Northwest, there are days I know none of us want to go outside. It's raining, it's damp, it's gloomy. Courtney and I love those days. Some of you, not so much. I get that. And still go outside, or at least get close to the window. And just appreciate, because we, in our human self, I believe we move so fast. And we forget to just take a breath and look at a tree. I went to Reverend Heather's house last night, and in her neighbor's backyard, which is right next to Heather's backyard, there is a huge tree. I mean, you couldn't give the tree a hug unless there were probably 4 of us. And it was amazing. It was tall. It was gorgeous. And so just recognize a tree. For some people who I think it's sometimes in my life is like, really? You could talk to plants, How many of you talk to your pet? Yep. Plants are living things also, so you can talk to it. I think that the Dr. Amodi, was that his name, that did the water? He talked about, they did a test with three different plants, and students walked in, and with one plant, they just loved on it, said good morning to it when they walked into the classroom. Aren't you great? The second plant, they just ignored. They didn't say bad things. They didn't say good things. They just walked by the plant like it wasn't there. And then the third plant, there was a group of them that walked by and told the plant what a bad thing it was, how it probably shouldn't be here. The first plant flourished beyond expectations. The second plant did okay. It was kind of going on its own, and it did okay. The third plant died. Now I want you to think about that in relationship to not only our environment of nature. I'm a little off track here, and I'm okay with that. I want you to think about that on how you treat people and how you talk to people, because your words are powerful. And so without intention, you could say something to somebody and just stop their growth right there, regardless of their age. You could stop their spiritual growth. You could stop them feeling love. And so just, as humans, I think we are in a state right now to remember who we are and why we're here. And I think who we are is God in form. And why we're here is to experience our divinity here. And so I invite you to remember that when you talk to people. You have a physical environment. Your physical environment is your home, your office, your car. Can energy move through those freely and effortlessly? Or do you have stuff? I have a lot of books, and thank goodness my husband used to be a carpenter, so he built me bookshelves, so they're neat and tidy. However, I know that sometimes we get stacks of stuff, don't we? And to remember, if everything's energy, then everything around us, remember, either inspiring us or expiring us. It's either feeding us energy or it's taking our energy away. And it doesn't mean you have to run home and change your environment. Just think about your home environment or your car or your workspace. When you walk in, does it make you smile? Do you feel the love of your home or your office or your car? Because love's an energy, right? So it's in and through and as everything. So everything's tangible. And if you don't, if you walk into your home and you're like, ugh, then I suggest start moving stuff. Create a flow. So that's your physical. The next one, financial. Oh, notice how my voice dropped. Financial. And financial, of course, is not only our income, our real estate, our bank account, our investments. You have psychic income. And psychic income is doing what you've come here to do. Doing what you love. And it doesn't matter if you get paid for it or not. Because when you're doing something that you love, you're exchanging energy with somebody. I don't think there's any higher, what do we call money? Exchange. I don't think there, pardon? Transaction. Yeah, I don't think there's any higher transaction than exchanging energy with somebody. Doing what you love and allowing them to receive that gift. And if money comes from that also, woohoo, winner, winner. However, don't stop yourself just because. I know a lot of people have these fabulous gifts and they feel they can't express them yet because they're not in the right job or they're not doing the right thing. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You take whatever that is and you take it to where you work and you be that person. And that will shift the environment around you. That will lift you up. And if you're supposed to move on, it will lift you up and out. So just be very aware of your financials. And so I forgot to give you the affirmation for physical, didn't I? I'm sorry. I am comfortably peaceful in my home, my office, and my car. It is a reflection of my soul. And then for financial, I am knowing always that God is my source, my supply, my sustenance, and it reflects in my financial good. So another environment is network. And network is, this is a network. Your Genesis family is a network. Social media, network. Whether it be Facebook, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Twitter, that is a network. If you belong to clubs, it is a network. Where you work, that is a network of people, right? And so how are you with those people? What are you bringing to that relationship? Even if it's online. I love now that people are inviting people on Facebook to post beautiful pictures of themselves or to post record albums, or instead of making it a contentious, sometimes Facebook can be contentious sometimes, instead of doing that, just making it a place of connection, right? Just making it a place of connection. And so for network, I said I am building strong friendships and relationships for myself and for my soul. And the last one, last but not least, is relationships. And your relationships are those people that you spend time with every single day. Every single day you spend time with them. So for me, it would be with Paul and Gibson. And in now, because a lot of us are working from home, Courtney used to have relationships with the people she worked with, and now most of that relationship is network, and she has a relationship with Bernie because she's working from home. And that can shift. So if these are all energies, they're all going to shift. And so to create an affirmation that speaks to your relationship or relationships with those around you. Now, for me, for somebody who's not in a relationship and they want to have a partner, this is a good time to create a really strong, powerful affirmation to call in your beloved. And you write it as if. And my affirmation is, I am blessed and I am a blessing to my beloved. And so those are the 9 environments. And remember, they're always, because they're energy, they're always moving. They are always moving. They're going in and out. They are either supporting you or they're sucking the life right out of you. And does anybody here not know when the life is being sucked out of them? You've all had that experience where you absolutely know, ooh, this is not my place, right? And then we change our environment. Have you ever walked in some place and you're really happy, and for some reason, the 2 or 3 people there, not so good, right? And interestingly, as human beings, what we tend to do, we lower our energy, don't we? We match them because we want them to feel good. We don't want to come in and go, oh, I'm so happy. However, I invite each of us, when we feel that energy shift like, ugh, instead of putting the brake on or shifting down, you don't have to shift up and overpower them, but hold your own. Because here's the thing that I believe. They need your light. They need your energy. They have called you there for a reason. And they haven't called you there to become one of them. And so to really start to be that presence. Because here's what I know. It doesn't matter if you're a minister or a practitioner or just a member of Genesis or part of the human race. We're all energy. We're all God in form. We can all make a difference in the world by showing up as the best us possible. And so I invite you to make affirmations for these 9 environments. And if you have an environment that I don't need an affirmation there, good, don't write one. It's not homework, kind of, maybe just a little. I'm not gonna be grading. Let's put it that way. I'll put it on. Yeah, put your affirmations on Facebook. So I invite you to just look at your affirmations and how they can support you into creating the reality, not only that you're here to experience, to create the reality that you deserve. Do not, please, sell yourself short. You are powerful beyond belief. Every single person that was born into their body, powerful beyond belief. We have some people that don't believe that yet, and so we're here to show them yes, you can, to be that love, to be that light. So let's pray. So standing in this place of oneness, feeling the energy of myself as it goes out, feeling the energy of others as it comes back. That exchange, that power, that presence of love. With the physical form of the divine in this room, with the physical form of the divine online, with the energetic form of God as each and every one of us. I remind each of us to stand in the power of who they are, to allow themselves to be that good that is God. Don't worry about those around you. Your job is you. Your job is to feel that presence, that power. Your job is to express who you are in every single moment of every single day. And sometimes I know that's not easy. And sometimes people may call you out That's okay. Be you. As Brene Brown said, don't sit in the stands, get in the arena. Play ball. Be the one who is here and is going to make a difference. Not only in this community, not only in this city, not only in this state, on this planet. Be that person. And I know that sounds big and that sounds huge. And to know that God has got this, I know that each one of us just needs to show up and be it. Show kindness to your fellow people, whether they look like you, dress like you, or not. Know that as you're looking out through the eyes of the divine, God is looking back at you with all of those eyes. Remember, as you people watch, you're actually God watching. So send thoughts of love. Send thoughts of kindness. Be that person who is filled up with so much love that there is no space to be negative. There is no space to be in judgment. There is only that power, that presence, that one. So I absolutely know this is true for me as it is true for all people everywhere. And I give thanks for that. I give thanks for this divine presence. I give thanks for this one. I know as it expresses through all of us that the world just got a little bit brighter, a little bit more loving, and a lot more kind. So I release these words. I release these words, and I know that as they are spoken, it is done. God has said yes. And what I know to be true is that ascended angels and masters for all of us, because we all have our own, they're present right here and right now. And they're all playing together. And they're all saying yes. Yes, this Genesis family can change the world. So I call it good because I know it's God. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Please welcome back to the stage Christine S. Young.
In a tiny square, broken pieces seem to lead nowhere. Why do I feel that my life is just pretend? All my dreams staying way too small, they lead me back to where I started from. How can I move when I fear what lies ahead? There's more what I see. Each step brings me closer to free. Yeah, I realize it's all inside of me. Yeah, I realize there are no walls in between you and me and this holy word. You and me and this holy word. And I realize now. And with each new day I see my life getting bigger with less denying. It's my choice now to leave or just give in. And every morning I give thanks, amen. In all the growth I've experienced, I've become a dream that's worth believing. There's more than what I see. Each step brings me closer to me. There are no